What's going on, everybody? It is Two Nerds Are Better Than One. I am your co-host, Ron Deasy. Yeah, I got I'm your host, co-host. I'm one half
Yeah.
of Two Nerds Are Better Than One. And we got my other half right here.
Oh, Mr. Awesome. I just have to say, that's a very nice hat.
You know how long I have this? I've had this since for like more than 10 years, I think.
That's
I think I first got this when I went to Tahoe one year and I bought this. I
it's a
saw
thing
it
of
and I was
beauty,
like,
man.
yeah. This is before this is when Angry Birds first came out.
Mm.
This is crazy
Before
that
the movie?
before the movie. I was just about to say that. I remember I was working at Fry's Electronics.
Oh, fries. That
You're a
must have been a cool
competitor.
job.
You're a competitor.
Nah, not my competitor.
Okay, Fry's Electronics. Angry Birds dropped, and they were like, my coworker was like, yeah, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make a movie. That's the future plans. I was like, yeah, right. Fast forward, they got 2 movies out, and I think like a series, right?
Man, I haven't kept track of Angry Birds in a while, but I know that I think they made more than one movie.
Definitely more than one.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they also had like a cartoon or a series or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I went to the arcade in Santa Cruz with my wife a while back, and they had a huge Angry Birds game where you can like pull on the thing and watch it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Huh.
It was kind of neat.
Was it raining?
I don't remember, to be honest. It was a while back. It was before. It's like in the summertime sometime.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about when you said recently. I was like, oh, it's been storming recently. So
Yeah. Sorry, not that.
cool. So
Not that recent.
we got Pedro Pascal that is has 2 shows out right now. He's doing the damn thing.
I really never even thought about it that way, but yeah.
Right.
The
I just
guy's
watched him.
everywhere.
Yeah. I just watched him on First We Eat, the show on YouTube where he sits down with the host and he's eating these hot wings.
Oh,
Or
hot
these
ones?
wings. Hot ones. There we go. The hot
Dude,
ones.
hot ones is so funny. I really do enjoy
Yeah,
it.
he took it like a champion. I know he's so comical. Like he's very funny. So I just actually watched that this morning. Made me like him even more. I don't I'm one of the few people that hasn't watched Game of Thrones, and I guess he's in that show. I don't know as who, but he's in there. I was like, oh, I guess I gotta watch it now. I try. I
He's
remember
pretty
one time
awesome in Game of Thrones too.
I forced myself to try to watch it, and I just couldn't get into it. And the thing is,
I know you. I know.
I love medieval movies, and I
It's
just couldn't get into it.
it's a lot of talking.
Yeah, but let's get into it. Pedro Pascal, we got Mandalorian season 3 out,
We're gonna start with that. All right.
and I enjoyed the first episode. I think it sets the tone for the rest of the season.
Did you see the second episode too?
I haven't seen the second episode.
Oh, okay. So we'll just talk about the first episode. Okay.
So first episode we get Mandalorians, and it looks like it's so we find out in the last season that there's different like factions or different groups of Mandalorians. So the one that Mando is part of, I forget what they're called, they're the ones that don't take off their helmet.
Yeah, they're called the Watch.
The Watch, there we go. And so we see the Armorer and the Watch, and the other Mandalorian that's like the heavy gunner.
Oh, that's Pal Vizsla. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who apparently is a descendant of like the first Mandalorian to like who was half Mandalorian, half Jedi, the one who created the Darksaber.
Oh, okay.
So he's a descendant of his.
So we're with this clan, and they're doing a ritual to where they're I don't think they call him youngling, but
I think that's Pal Vizsla's son too.
Okay. I wasn't clear on that. Maybe do they explain that episode 2? Or
I can't. I heard it somewhere. I'm not positive exactly where it comes out, but that's what I heard. I'm like I said, I think I'm not positive, but I
okay.
think it's supposed to be his son.
So yeah, we get Armor is making a helmet, and they're gonna put a helmet on a youngling, and they're in the water. They're on this beach front, and they're in the water. And I was like, oh, is this like, and so they're doing like a speech and everything, and then Armor noticed something, and this big ass sea monster comes out.
It's like a giant alligator or something, right?
Yeah,
Like the Nile River, you know?
right. And at first I was like, why are they doing it in the water? Like, is this just how they do it? Or and then part of me thought I was like, or is this like a trap?
Well,
Like,
they
are they
can't go to
trying
the
to
mines of
lure out?
Mandalore.
Like, are they trying to lure out this monster for something? But
Mm.
I still don't know why they had it in the water. It seemed like they're trying to lure it out, but whatever. So they're fighting this thing.
Well, I think it's a ritual from Mandalore.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, if you watch the second episode, they more talk about it. How even Bo-Katan had to go through it. It was like kind of a tradition. You know, even if you weren't a part of the watch, that was something that every Mandalorian did.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically it. Like that's how you become kind of more official, I guess.
The speech in the water or fighting that monster?
Yeah. No, speech in the water. I don't think that monster was planned.
Okay, that's what I was confused about.
Yeah,
I was like, are they
I don't
trying
think
to
that
lure that
monster
thing
was
out?
planned. No.
Okay.
They didn't look ready for that thing at all.
Okay. I also was confused about because it looked like they're ready, but then it looked like they're surprised. The armor looked like she didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I think everyone just got together because it's a big moment.
Yeah, so they all get together to try and fight this thing. Their blasters are having no effects by it. A few of them get on the jetpacks trying to bring it down. And fast forward, looks like the armorer is about to get eaten by this thing, and then this blast come out of nowhere. And it's Mando and his Naboo, I think it's called N1 Starfighter,
Yep.
with Grogu, and they shoot the thing down, and kill it. Yeah, they kill it, right? Yeah, they kill it.
Sure.
Lost a few Mandalorians, not a lot, but they lost a few, and he goes and talks to the armorer, and she's like, you still have the saber, right? He's like, yeah. And I forget, remind me, what's the reason why he sees her? Is he wants to go get back in the clan, right?
Yeah, well, he says that he's actually going to go. Yeah, he's going to go to the mines of Mandalore because he got, I don't know if it was from a Jawa or some other traveler, but he got a piece from the actual like planet. I guess the guy got it from. So it's habitable. It's basically what he's saying. I can go there and do this.
Right.
And she's like, you can't go there. It's cursed. And he shows her this thing, which is basically like a little part of the actual planet, like writing on it,
artifact or something like that. Yeah.
So he says, I'm doing it, basically.
Yeah, and then she tells him, okay, go ahead. And then like,
this is the way.
Yeah, this is the way. If you get it back, then you can get back in the clan, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes to visit Bo-Katan. And Bo-Katan is at this do you remember the
planet is called Kalabala.
Okay.
And that's her castle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's damn near deserted.
Yeah.
Right? It's only like, I think you only see her and another Mandalorian,
because
right?
when she came back without the saber, everyone left. They were like, this is what you want. They know that someone else has a saber. I don't know if she told them who, but yeah. I feel like, and here's the thing, man. I thought about this too before the season started, but we had already done our predictions episode. But I kind of have a feeling that word's going to spread about who has the saber. And it's not just going to be to, like, regular people. Mandalorians are going to hear about it too. Okay. And, those who follow that creed are going to be like, this guy could be the one. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're just going to kind of follow him. Especially if he actually does get redeemed. With the Mines of Mandalore and everything, and becomes, official again. I think he's going to have followers. I do. Be interesting. Not that you want it, but at the same time, it's always the ones that don't want it that are the best at it.
Right.
Right? So,
I didn't ask for this.
That's just my theory. By the way, that fight with the gator was pretty sick, man. Like when I don't know if you remember when they harpooned him and they had all those ropes on him, how he got away. The dude, the gator just spinned and just like took them all with him. Yep. It was really good. It was a really good fight. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was and so we end with that, right? Bo-Katan gives some information of where it's at. Oh no, it doesn't end right there. No, so he goes to another planet and he will see Grief. Is it Grief Gargan or something like that?
Yeah, see, I think he goes to Grief before he goes to Bo. That's what I thought, but I can't remember specifically. But yeah, he goes to Navarro where Grief Karga is.
Yeah.
Cara Dune has left. She got promoted because she caught Moff Gideon. So she's like a part of some other thing now. So she's not written off the show completely. She's just in another area now, higher up in the Republic forces.
Wait, pause right there. The girl that plays as Cara Dune, is that the same
Gina
girl that played in Deadpool?
Yes.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, where have I seen her before?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going through, I'm trying to think. I was like,
she's pretty badass, man. Like that girl can fight. I mean, yeah, it's pretty sick.
And is she like a natural like bodybuilder or something like that?
Yeah, I think she's a natural fighter.
She has broad shoulders.
Yeah. No, she's a beast.
Cool. Okay, so go ahead.
So they go to Navarro. They meet Grief Karga. And as they're walking through, they see actually the IG-11. He's a statue of the actual pieces that were left of him. They made a statue of him in kind of his honor, because of him they got out. If it wasn't for him, that would have been it. They would have got torn to shreds by those Empire guys. And you find out that he wants to rebuild him. Yeah. Right? Which I thought was insane. But that's what he wants to do. So he's like, that thing's junk. He's like, nah, we can rebuild him. So they go to try to rebuild him. I can't remember who they got, what those things are called, though. That's one name I forgot to get. But they're from like the new Star Wars movies, right?
Yeah, they're from episode 9.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Do you know what they're called?
I don't.
Okay. But they're very tiny and they're very talented mechanics. So they revive him and he just goes right back to his old protocol. It's like a scene straight from out of the Terminator. You remember the first Terminator movie? Right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah, dude. Like it's half a body. It's a machine, and he's just like crawling, trying to get to Grogu, man. So they have to kill him again.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even know what the purpose was of that, but he's like, I need him to go. He basically needed him to like kind of analyze things on the planet with him. He wanted to have someone there to keep Grogu safe and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it for that part. And then they get called away. There's like pirates that are causing trouble. And apparently Grief knows them, and they're trying to have a drink in a school that used to be a bar, and they don't want to like let that go. So they challenge Grief to like basically say that he's soft, and then and then Grief Karga he like puts he's got his gun still right with him, right? So they try to make a move. He hits the gun right out of their hands, and Mando's right there too. So he shoots a couple of them, and they let him go, which I was like, what are you trying to deliver a message or something? I mean, I guess, but at the same time.
And that's what Grief says. He said he'll tell everybody that this doesn't fly here anymore. Yeah. And Mando's like, you sure you want to let him go?
Yeah. Not a smart move, but
yeah.
Whatever. So that happens. And then he finds out that he needs like some sort of chip or something to completely restore the IG unit. So then he heads out to... Well, that's kind of where they leave off, right? Because he goes into space. He heads chased. He heads out into space. And of course, as soon as you see any type of spot where like they're going through like meteors, there's always a fight. Right? Yeah. Anytime they go through like asteroids, like that, there's going to be like a trap or something. I'm like, man, he's going to get attacked. And immediately he does by the pirates that he let go that come after him. And then you find out there's a new villain. By the way, the pirate who they let go, his name is Vane. But the new villain, the big one, I guess is named, what is it? Gorian Shard, who looks like a mix between Swamp Thing and like
Yep.
who's the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Damn. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though, right? The squid guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Davy Jones, I think is his name.
Yeah.
There you
Jones.
go. He looks a mix between both of them. So he looks cool. And he might be like, I don't think he's the main villain of the story, but I think he's coming back at some point during the season. For sure. Yeah. And then, I think after that, he either goes to Kalevala or that's where the show ends. I can't remember.
Yeah. That fight scene, I was looking at it and I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think his Razor Crest would have survived that fight. Because the Razor Crest, the Naboo one is more maneuverable.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the stunts he was pulling off, I was like, I don't think the Razor Crest could have handled that. Because he was dodging and hiding behind asteroids. It's a smaller ship and more maneuverable. And I don't think he would have done it with the Razor Crest.
I think he might be
Even though I do miss the Razor Crest.
I miss the Razor Crest too, because it was cool like watching it move through the air. But at the same time, man, that N1 is pretty badass.
Yeah. Modified and everything, yes.
But, you got to sell more ships, so to be honest, they may make a new one for this season. You may find something better before the end of the season. You never know. We got 8 episodes, so we'll see what happens.
So, I didn't watch the episode 2, but I'll watch it after this.
Okay.
So let's go into Bad Batch.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like about this episode is that a lot of it felt like just like kind of a, hey, just so you know, this is what we're doing, even though we already kind of told you what we were going to do. And, in Boba Fett, right? It kind of felt like that. I mean, there was some new stuff for sure, but a lot of it felt almost like I already know this. You know what I mean? But it was still a good episode. I liked it.
Yeah. You hear people when they say the Boba Fett series was actually like Mandalorian 2.5 or something like that.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
Kind of was. I'm really interested to see what they do with Cobb Vanth, though.
Oh, yeah.
The Marshal? Because at the end of Boba Fett, remember, he's like in the
back to take. Yeah.
Yeah. But that guy's with him, though. The guy who, like, worked on Fennec Shan, right? The one who fixed her up. So they're going to do something with him to make him a little bit more upgraded, I would think. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So let's go to Bad Batch.
Okay.
I didn't watch the recent episode, but I watched the episode with
oh man,
whatchamacallit, the beast that they
they're not related, so we can just talk about the one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'm fine for talking about the one episode if you want. But yeah.
So what happens? How does it start off?
It starts off like a horror movie.
Right. There's
reminds me of Dead Space, dude.
There's a clone trooper running away. Yeah, Dead Space. That's perfect.
It reminded me of Dead Space, like a ship in the middle of nowhere in space. It's down, it's dead, and then there's one guy left running around, except that he doesn't kill nothing. He just gets killed.
Yeah. So there's this beast in there that you can probably assume like they escaped, and you find out like that ship is like a experiment ship, and whatever they're experimenting on got out somehow. And then we learned that is it the Empire? The Empire knows about this ship, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're like, yo, it's gone dark. We need to recover this back.
Yeah, it's very important to the Empire, as a matter of fact.
Very important. So I forget how the Bad Batch gets involved with this.
So they kind of just it's a little bit quick moving, so I understand why you'd like kind of forget. They just kind of flash right to the Bad Batch. And they're back on their ship, and they're talking to Sid. And they're basically yelling at Sid, you didn't help us at all. Right. We had to get this all out on our own. She's like, well, you guys made it. I knew you would. Anyway, they're like, why don't we just, like, leave? He's like, listen, I got a cargo. You could take 35%. She's like, that's our normal fee. He's like, oh, right. All right, 35. And I don't know if you noticed, but Wrecker just keeps smiling. He's like, hey, 35. And they're everyone else is like, 40. And Wrecker's like, everyone else is like, right. So he was like, fine, 50%, but just you better come back with something. So that's how they find the ship. It's a mission from Sid. She found out that there's a down ship it's free cargo. Go there, and then they basically go into a mess as usual. Right? I got a bad feeling about this.
Mm-hmm.
The classic.
So,
yeah.
you want to keep going? Go ahead.
I'm sure. If you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
So they go to the ship. Obviously, everyone's gone. It's dark. There's no power at all. So Tech leaves to restore the lights, and he thought he heard something. He looks back. Nothing's there. Classic horror movie trope, right?
Yep.
And he gets the right before he gets the power on. You come across the rest of the Bad Batch. Wrecker, Hunter, and Omega. They're all together in one little spot on the ship, and Wrecker's looking at something, and there's like this ooze on it, right? Almost like from like an alien movie. It was really cool. This episode was very cool.
Right.
I really enjoyed this episode a lot. And then you look at Hunter, and you see him from the backside, though, and you see this ooze starting to come down, like, right on him.
Classic.
Yeah, classic, right? And they look up,
Aliens.
and there's this. What? So what?
I was like, it takes it from Aliens. It takes it from Dead Space. Like, it's a mixture of all of that.
And I'm completely fine with that, man. It's kind of cool to see Star Wars like that, right?
Yeah.
So he looks up, and of course, there's a monster up there. Now, I couldn't tell what this thing was at first. Okay.
Yeah, because it's very dark, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to shine a light, and you only see like a silhouette, not even like a full silhouette. You just see like parts of it.
I actually like what Omega says. She's just like, Hunter, what is that? And Hunter's just like, back away slowly. Right. And then the thing sees him as soon as before the lights turn on, right? He sees him.
Yeah.
Comes at him. And
doesn't attack him. Doesn't attack them yet.
At some point, I think he jumps down.
He jumps down.
Yeah.
Still doesn't attack him, and just like,
okay,
it's just like a face-off,
Yeah. And then he opens his mouth to roar at him, and they just shoot him in the mouth.
Right.
He runs away, and then the lights turn on, and they don't see him anywhere. He's gone.
Really. Yeah, and by the way, this is a creature we haven't seen before in Star Wars at all. Totally new creature or species, whatever you want to call it. So fast forward, they come in contact with it again, and it has like lightning in its teeth, like surrounding its teeth. And you come to find out it's attracted to like a power source.
Mm-hmm.
So Tech tries to, they're running away from it. Their gunfire is not affecting it. Omega's shooting it with her bow and arrow or whatever, not affecting the beast at all. They rendezvous with Tech, and it gets a bit in between Tech and the rest of the Bad Batch. And I think it's feeding on an electric source, right? And Tech is noticing something. He's like, huh.
Yeah, it's like bigger.
He's like, I'm noticing it's attracted to this power source, and it looks like it's growing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Tech does something where he causes an explosion. Like, he's like, probably this is like the only way to like probably escape. And does the ship crash onto a planet?
I believe they crashed the ship.
I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is that the monster is smart enough to get out of the situation, like just to get out the door before all of them.
Right.
Because I don't know, maybe he thought they were just too much of a threat, and he wasn't strong enough yet to take them down. So the monster bails. They all bail. Tech and Omega stay on the ship because Omega kind of notices like it's a cloning type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're gonna check like the files on this thing while Hunter and Wrecker are gonna go try to hunt it down because they feel like it's their fault now that this thing's in the city, right?
Yeah.
And where does this thing go? Right to a huge electrical power source.
Right.
And I'm so glad that you said that we haven't seen this monster before because we have. Once it got big, once it got real big, it's that monster that was in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Okay, now I have to go back and watch that.
Let me remind you, because maybe if I say this, it might come back to you. So there's an episode where a big monster appears out of nowhere. Like I think they awoke it out of like a mountain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets out, and remember the Emperor wants to put it down, not kill it, but put it to sleep, use it because he wants his armor. Remember that?
No, I don't. It's been a
Yeah.
while since I seen Clone Wars.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while for me too, but I remember that, and like they didn't do anything with it. Like I thought they killed it, but I guess they at least harvested its DNA because that's basically what that thing was. It was a new one of those monsters that they have plans for.
Yeah,
basically. And the original plan anyway was he really wanted whatever his armor was made out of because it was resistant to like everything.
blaster. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's why when the Empire came and hit it, it went right down because it knew exactly what its weakness was. So, but yes, we have seen this monster before. You just couldn't tell because it was so small, and we never saw it small. We only saw it when it was full grown.
Right,
in the
right,
Wars
right.
animation. So as soon as it grew huge, I'm like, that's that monster. And they even kind of confirm it at the end because they're talking, the doctor's talking to him about it, and they're like, yeah, I guess they just want to leave it alive. They're not killing it, they're taking it, you know.
Yeah, because basically it gets to the power source at the city. You see it's at its full length. It starts off like a like a salamander lizard kind of thing, and then once it gets to the power source, it has a longer neck, longer everything, and they knock it out. I can't Wrecker and Hunter knock it out, right?
No, the Empire takes it out.
Okay, the Empire takes it out.
Because they know exactly what its weakness is because they've seen it before. Like they already know how to control it.
Okay, so they knock it out, and Wrecker and Hunter are looking at it at a distance, and they see the Empire come and swoop it up and take off. They're like, oh, damn, okay, what's going on with this? And I think by then, like you said, Tech and Omega figure out that this is like an experimental ship, and I can't remember they find out why or whatever, but you kind of figure out like, okay, the Empire needs this for something. They're cooking up something.
Yeah.
And
she definitely says it's Canamone tech, but not quite what she's familiar with. Basically what she says, yeah. But they had experiments running off world, she said too, that she didn't know anything about. That whatever her name is, Saleh, I think, never told her about.
Yeah, and then she comes back, right? She comes back at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. Apparently she's been held prisoner.
Right.
I don't know what that other guy's name is though. He's a new doctor guy.
Yeah.
But he's very menacing. Like the way the guy talks is creepy. Like creepy.
Yeah, because the last time you see her is like maybe 2 episodes ago when they're trying to prove that the Empire has something to do with something. I forget that.
Is that the same one? Is that the same girl?
I thought it was.
Not positive.
Okay.
I should take a look and see. It might be. I'm not positive though. Because I thought she's just been held prisoner the whole time.
Okay, I thought it was the same girl that was from Camino.
They sure look the same. I'll say that. But they kind of all look the same.
But and I forget what happens through that when it's focusing on the Empire. But somebody talks about like, oh yeah, they mentioned Omega, right? And then the guy's like, oh, that's funny. We're chasing a crew that has the description of that girl. And I think it cuts from there, right?
Pretty much. One other messed up thing too is everyone that saw that thing, basically everyone in the city, they put them in a ship and take the whole town with them. So who knows what's in store for those people? I don't know. Yeah. But they all saw that thing, and I don't know what they're gonna do with those people. But I don't think they're living.
Yeah. So
to be honest, but yeah, they bring the other prime minister of Kaminoa, who I guess they've also had prisoner the whole time, and basically say Saleh isn't cooperating. Tell us what we need to make her cooperate, and you're free, basically. And he tells him about there's a girl that a clone that she cares about a lot. That you find her, and you'll have your leverage, and that's basically Omega.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how it cuts.
Yeah, so I don't know what the next episode, because I didn't watch it, and you can jump in when you want to, but I guess from my predictions from this show so far, I feel like it's explaining. We already know that explaining how they phase out the clones.
Yeah,
but I think it's also explaining what also the Emperor has planned.
Yeah, I don't know what. So in all the history of Star Wars, I've never seen anything with like some sort of crazy type of scaly armor or anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, there's like a whole gap between you know episode 3 and episode 4, right? And
Right.
there's like little things that are starting to fill it in, but there's tons of stuff that could have happened in between there. So who knows if we'll see this new armor or whatever at the end. Like I'm very curious what the Emperor's plans are for this monster. And we saw
Right.
some other ancient tech earlier in the
Right.
season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that monster kind of reminded me of just a little bit because of the long neck and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm sure they have nothing to do with each other, but I don't know. I'm trying to put things together.
Right. Right. My prediction is that for the rest of the show, we might find out. I'm not sure if we're gonna find out in this season of Bad Batch or maybe if they have another season already planned. But we're gonna find out how the Emperor clones itself. Because we find out that I think we find out, or no, not that we think we find out, but we know the Emperor in the sequels, how there's when Kylo Ren finds out where the Emperor is at, that there's all these cloning not tubes, but we find out that Snoke is a clone of some sort
That's
or
an interesting
experiment.
theory.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna find out what, and then I think if you read the book for episode 9, you find out that the Emperor in that book is a clone itself.
Mm.
So the Emperor is still around somewhere pulling strings.
After
I think
everything?
that's a theory or something like that. I haven't
Okay.
read it, but I read that somewhere
Got it.
that somebody said that when Kylo Ren sees the Emperor, he refers him to the clone Emperor or a clone of the Emperor.
Okay.
So, which kind of makes sense to Bad Batch because, and actually the Clone Wars, because the Camino facility is known for building all the clones and stuff like that.
Okay. That's a cool theory.
Yeah. So I hope that all ties in somehow in the rest of the season, the end of the season. And like I said, I haven't watched the next episode, but do they mention something like that in the next episode?
No, the next episode is kind of completely different, but a really good episode.
Okay. All right, we can go over that next time. Let's see. So, The Last of Us.
Okay.
We're gonna go to The Last of Us.
We got 2 episodes to cover.
2 episodes. So, um, the episode, I forget which one it is, but one episode's called Left Behind.
Yes.
And this is basically talking about Ellie's. Oh well, first it starts off with Ellie trying to patch up Joel.
Yeah.
And I think we go to where Ellie's trying to patch up Joel because if the previous episode he got stabbed after escaping the hospital, and so he lost all blood. She drags him
because he pulled that thing out of himself. I still can't believe he did that.
You're never supposed to pull it out unless you know what you're doing. Don't pull it out. Okay, leave it in there because that's that whatever he got stabbed with or whoever that's what's keeping him from bleeding out. But anyways, we assume that she dragged him to a cabin, a hiding spot, and she's trying to patch him up, and then we cut to where Ellie is part of this. We timeline jump to where before Ellie meets Joel and she's part of this foster home or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably not even that because it said it was only a few months ago, right? When she got bit, when she was talking to Joel. So maybe like four months before she met him.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. It's not that. It's basically not that far off.
Yeah, so Ellie's part of this group where I guess kids that don't have parents or something like that.
Yeah, but it's also like a recruiting group for Fedra and stuff.
So she's having trouble in that group because I think there's like a bully in there, and I guess she gets in a fight. The teacher is like, straighten up or something like that.
Yeah, Captain Kwong. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of fast forward past that. We meet her friend is Riley, right? Riley comes back. We find out that Riley she has a friend named Riley that was part of that group, but she left, and she comes back for Ellie, takes her on an adventure.
It wakes her up the worst way, by the way. Like covers her mouth. Like
yeah,
Ellie's kind of crazy. I wouldn't do that to Ellie. I'd get stabbed or something. Like I don't know how you wake somebody up like that. Like how do you wake someone up like
it was a joke. It was a joke.
Whatever.
Like, oh, you don't joke like that in a time like this. Come on now. So they take her to the city and basically takes her to the mall and wants to show her. And Ellie has never been to a mall before. She's seeing an escalator for the first time, a working escalator.
I know you forget like what time frame this all happened to, because I forgot that it actually happened kind of far, like how many years had passed. Like when you see like a Mortal Kombat 2 machine that was like present in the arcade, that's like, yeah, that it happened early in time for that to happen.
So they're going through the mall. Ellie's seeing all this new stuff. It has an arcade center where they play games. They go on this carousel. And Ellie's just showing Riley's showing Ellie all this stuff, and it's for a reason. Like Riley's saying, like, hey, I'm about to leave. Like, and I wanted to show you the stuff before I leave. And you can tell they're best friends, but then you can kind of tell that. So throughout this whole adventure, you know, we find out that Riley is showing her for a reason, and she's like, hey, yeah, I'm about to leave. I got recruited by the Fireflies, and you know, this is probably my last time seeing you. And throughout this adventure, Ellie's looking at Riley a certain way, and you could tell that, okay, not only does Ellie think of her like a best friend, but she also has feelings for her. They have a moment in there where they kiss, and that moment gets ruined by I
know, and that's like right when she convinces her to stay. Too, right. She says she's actually going to stay. She's not going to join the Fireflies, which, by the way, I think is a really interesting thing, because it just, I don't want to skip over this because I think it's important. When they're talking about before she says she's going to stay, she asked the head of whoever she knows in the Fireflies, right, if I can take you with me, and they said no. Her being Ellie, right? And I think the person that she asked is Marlene. Yeah. Because Marlene knew who Ellie was. Yeah. And how important she was. And that's why she told her she couldn't go. So I think the person that she's actually met and reporting to is Marlene. Yeah.
So their moment gets interrupted, or it doesn't get interrupted, but it's followed by a infected that's in there that wakes up, and they try to fight it off, and they end up killing it. But in the midst of killing it, we see that not only did Ellie get bit, but Riley gets bit also. Yeah. So this explains Ellie's bitten forearm, and then Riley gets bit like on her hand, and they're like, oh man, damn. But we all know how this happens, or how this pans out. This is how we find out that Ellie doesn't get affected. So we could probably assume that Ellie actually meets up with the contact from Riley, who happens,
which is probably Marlene.
Assume is Marlene. Yeah. And, you know, explains to Marlene that Riley didn't make it, and I'm the one that she wanted to bring. Yeah. So, gives a backstory.
Yeah. And then that's when all of a sudden she's like, I'm not losing another person, and like immediately goes back to her and Joel, and she just takes action, runs upstairs, starts looking desperately for anything, right? And she finally at the end, right at the very end, like sifting through everything like a mad person, needle and thread, and patches Joel up the best she can. Yeah, and Joel accepts it. He doesn't try to stop her. He's like, all right, I guess we're doing this. Yep. And she patches him up, and that's pretty much how it ends, right?
Yeah. I also wanted to say, oh yeah, I know you haven't finished the game, but I think that's also like a DLC for the first game.
I heard that. Yeah, the adventure between her and Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's DLC for the first game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't played the DLC either, but I know it's out there.
Did they kiss in the DLC?
I haven't played the DLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was curious.
but so that's that episode, and then we get into the next episode. I think it's called it's something we care or we.
Oh, I know that.
How we are, or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that.
when we are in need.
When we are in need, yeah. So it starts off. I think people are like praying, right? Does it start off like that, or
Yeah,
start off
he's
with
like
Ellie?
giving a sermon.
Yeah, he's giving a sermon to a group of people and young people at that. Or no, it's all ages, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay,
just
yeah.
basically just a group of religious people, it seems. Religious
Group of religious
survivors,
people.
I guess I should say.
Yeah. One guy, David, he's the one that's giving the sermon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's giving a sermon. I think there's a young girl that speaks out or something like that, or he could tell like this one girl is
Her name's
not
Hannah.
really a believer or something like that. I forget.
Well, her name's Hannah. She's the daughter of the person that Joel killed.
Oh yeah, we find that out. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, she's not very happy later. Right now.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna fast forward it. I just watched it today, or I finished watching it today.
Okay.
Ellie has to find. I think she sees that Joel's wound is not healing properly. I think.
Yeah.
Or is infected.
Definitely infected.
Yeah. So, Ellie has to go out and find something, and so she actually runs across David and another companion of his, and David's trying to like, hey, look, we can help you. He tries to be all nice and everything, and she's like, oh, I need medicine, any type, and he actually gives it to her, but he starts, trying to give his speech about, oh yeah, everything happens for a reason. So here's a funny thing,
Speaking of everything happens for a reason, I love how they actually meet her and run into her. Like, she's hunting, right? And she shoots a deer with the skills that Joel taught her, by the way, which I think is cool. Right. It gets a deer, but then it books, and she's like, what? She goes and chases the deer, finds it dead, and of course, there are James and David just chilling there. Like, and that's how she meets them. So, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, they fill that in. So David's all, trying to talk sweet to her, and oh yeah, I know you're by yourself, or are you by yourself? This and this and that. And he immediately knows, like, okay, this is adding up. Like, there's a young girl here. She's saying that there's more people, but doesn't seem likely. And he reveals to her, like, yeah, the funny thing is, like, we had this partner that died, and who killed him was a crazy man, and the crazy man had a little girl. And her eyes widen, and she's like, oh shit. And then there's a guy behind her. Was it James, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's James played by the way, who voiced Joel.
Oh, nice.
That's the guy who voiced Joel. He's playing this character in live action.
So James has her like pinned down. He could like just off her, but David's like, no. Put it down, give her the medicine, and go. She takes the medicine. They keep the deer, and she takes the medicine.
Yeah.
And gives it to Joel. She's like, I don't know how much I'm supposed to give you, but here.
I know, dude. The way she put it in, I was just like, is that how you're supposed to do it? Like,
it was supposed to be that close,
I don't know. So, I mean, it seemed to be working though. So.
Yeah, it seemed to be working. And I think he passes. He's not conscious, right? He's still like out of it.
No, he doesn't seem to be with it at all.
Yeah, I think he's barely. He's not dying, but he's unconscious.
Yeah,
lost too much blood. And so we go back to David and James, and they're back to their little town or resort. We find out that they're at a resort, and they're bringing the deer. And the word spreads fast that, hey, they found this girl, and then this is the girl that killed the dude.
Yeah.
I forgot. There's like an interaction between that girl, Hannah.
Yeah. Well, they basically. Hannah says you should have killed her, and immediately David goes over to her and just.
Yeah.
Backhands her right on the ground, and then immediately is sweet to her after, like.
Okay. Come, child. don't tell me what to do, okay?
That is a scary weird man.
Yeah.
Right
And
there.
he looks like a creeper. Like he looks like, very menacey and very creepy-ish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So we go to like their kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we I it's kind of blurry, but do we find out like they're short on food or something like that?
Oh, they talk about that before. Yeah, they talk about that even before anything else. Like that actually happens right after the sermon. They start talking about it. That there's rumors of deer in the woods. We could go looking because he knows it's gonna. Because James actually knows what's going on, so he knows that they're gonna have to resort to if they don't find something. But no. After the scene you're talking about, after he slaps her, they go to the kitchen, and one guy brings in cut up meat. And the woman's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Venison."
Yeah.
And I didn't actually realize it, to be honest, because I thought they still had some food left. I didn't realize it at this point. I don't know if you did, but they turned out to be cannibals. Basically, they don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until they captured Ellie later.
Okay, I didn't realize it either. So, but yeah, if you watch that episode again, it's like, oh, but I think the woman might know. Actually, what it is.
Yeah, she wasn't she wasn't sold on it.
Yeah, she didn't look convinced.
She's like, "Where'd you get it from?" Because I know we don't have none.
Exactly. So she puts it in a pot and like boils it.
It's chopped up. It's chopped up meat, red meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically all you see. And then they're all sitting at the kitchen eating it. And then I think you go flashback to the next day, because he said when she ran off, David said when she ran off that we'll just track her tomorrow. Like she's not gonna not leave a trail. She's a kid, It'll
be better, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go out with the whole crew and we'll get her and we'll kill the person. We'll get justice for the guy who died.
Mm-hmm.
So that flashback to the next morning, and they're out as a hunting party, to find her and Joel. And then she hears them, and she tries to lead them off. Right? She hops on the horse. She gives Joel a knife. She's like, "Dude, here you go. If someone comes in here, kill them."
Right.
But she tries to hold them up as much as possible. She puts a big shelf in front of the way so he can hear things coming if they come in. But she gets on the horse, tries to run away, and James actually grabs a rifle and just shoots the horse.
Yeah.
Dick.
She falls off.
Gotta kill the horse. Why always gotta kill the animal?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, pretty much out cold. Knocked out. And he's about to shoot her, and David stops him.
Yeah.
Because David has other plans for Ellie.
Right. Yeah, so they take her away. I think it's David and James, and there's two other people that are left behind from the hunting party. And
that are there to get justice.
Yeah, they're like, the guy's here somewhere. Find them.
They're gonna get justice, I'll tell you that.
So one guy enters the cabin that Joel's in, and Joel is in like the basement part of this cabin. And Joel, just in the nick of time, gains consciousness and hears this guy come in. And he's not 100. Of course, he's not 100%, but he's to a point where he could defend himself. Guy comes down there with a rifle. Joel gets him. Does he kill him?
Yeah, man, right in the neck.
Oh, so there's three people actually.
Yeah, there's three.
There's three. So he kills that guy. And there's two more, and he captures both of them. And he holds them for interrogation.
He uses one for bait, too. So he gets one, and then the other guy finds the guy, which by the way is kind of like the same scene that was in the city, right? They try to use the guy as bait, and they don't bite. They get out of there. These guys bite. So this guy bites, I should say. The guy's there, wounded, and he goes to help him, and he just knocks him.
Right.
And he holds him hostage for interrogation.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, where are you guys located at? He torches one guy, stabs the guy in the knee, pulls it out. He's like, here's a map. Tell me where the city's at.
So there's blood on it, so it'll leave a mark.
Yeah. He's like, tell me where you guys are at. Oh, we're at such and such. He's like, okay. He pulls out the map. He's like, you're not gonna find it. It's a resort. It's a made up city. And he's like, okay. Takes the bloody knife out, puts it in the guy's mouth. He's like, point to it. And I'm gonna ask your friend.
So badass.
I'm gonna ask your friend to point at it. It better match up. He points at it. And He basically stabs him, right? Yeah, he stabs him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell you." Da, 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 da. He's like, "Well, I believe your friend, so you're no use for me." Gets like a black pipe, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Like
Yeah,
a cast iron pipe or something.
Something efficient.
And just
That's for sure.
boom,
Yeah.
execution. And so we go to where Ellie's being held at, and David's trying to talk to her, and I forget how she finds out that they're cannibals.
Oh, so that's an interesting one. So she is talking to him, and he leaves once, because he says, we're gonna let you live and all that stuff. And then when he leaves, she sees like an ear or something on the floor, like some sort of body part on the floor. And then he comes back and tries to feed her, and she just like kicks it away. She's like, "Dude, right. I'm not eating that."
Okay, I missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how did she find out? Mm-hmm. But anyways,
and then she looks at the table, and there's like blood all over the table that, is that right. Too.
So yeah, he tries to talk to her, try and give like a lecture. And Ellie's like playing into it. She's like, I know he has a key. I gotta figure out a way how to, because while he leaves, she tries to figure out a way, like escape plan. She almost tries to untie a gate or something like that.
And that's when she notices the ear.
Okay. I must have missed that part that quick. And so he comes back with the soup and everything. She kicks it away. He's like, "Yeah, you're cannibals," and he tries to explain his reasoning. And he's giving a lecture, and she decides to play along, like, okay, I'm gonna make you believe I believe you, and I'm gonna be part of you. So he puts his hands on the gate, and she puts his hands near it, her hands near him, and then he touches it, and they're having a moment, and then she bends his finger, pulls him in, so he smacks himself against the gate. And I thought she grabbed the keys, right?
She had him for a second.
Yeah, and then he pulls away and loses it.
Yeah. Smashed her head against the gate.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. I think she might have broke his finger.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Because when he goes away, she finally tells him her name. She goes, "Ellie," and she goes, "What?" Said, "Ellie, make sure you tell people who broke your finger your name is Ellie." Yeah, that's what she said. Badass, right? So David comes back with a person, another henchman. They grab her.
Yeah, I think it's James.
And they put her on the table. And something happens.
Yeah, she basically uses her last resort. She's like, "Just so you know, I'm infected."
No, but I forget how she bites him.
Oh yeah, she bites him somehow. David.
Yeah, she bites David. There's a struggle. Yeah, she bites because they're trying to put her on the table, and they got a meat, and she bites him somehow. I forget. I guess during the struggle.
Yeah.
So they put her on the table. They got a meat cleaver, and they're about to kill her. And she goes, "Wait, stop! I'm infected, and now you are."
Yeah.
And
you're gonna serve infected meat to everybody.
Yeah. So James is like, she's like, "Yeah, look at my arm," and she looks at it, and David is like, "I don't believe you because that looks healed. No, that's not gonna happen." And Ellie, this shows how badass
but James
Ellie is.
James gets convinced though. James is not believing it, and that's like her one shot. Like when they're kind of arguing, that's when she grabs
that split hesitation that James has,
because she
gives her enough time to react quickly, grabs the meat cleaver, hits David right in the neck.
Yep.
He falls down. She's able to escape and miss the bullet shots that David, shoots at her. And so now she's and by this time Joel's already like, I think, arrived at the place.
Yeah. Right outside. Yep.
So Joel is exploring, trying to find out where she's at, and he enters a room to where he sees 3 bodies hanging upside down. And
I think that's right from the game too. I think that happens in the game too. Like he's looking around and there's bodies like hanging.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, and I just don't remember it. But the bodies they're like, are they missing a head? I think they're all missing a head.
I don't know about in the game if they were, but in this, they were all missing their heads.
Yeah,
because I think they were just draining them.
Yeah. And so we go back to Ellie's hiding from David in a room, and she gets like this burning wood, and her plan is, I thought she was going to stab him with it, but he enters in the room and she throws it and misses him and hits a curtain, and this room starts going up in flames.
Very cool, by the way. Very artistic moment, man. I mean, this guy's like the epitome of evil, and it's like it's almost like she's in hell with this guy because there's just like fire everywhere, and you just see him looking for her everywhere, which is super cool. What I remember is after she launches the stick and everything starts to come on fire, he's looking for her, and this is another moment in the game where basically you gotta and again, I never played the game, but I started to watch some 1-for-1s again, so it's kind of the same thing. She hides behind stuff so she can't find him, waits for her moment for his back to be turned, and in the game, I guess if you step on a plate or something, he turns and kind of like throws you away, and she kind of screams right before she like stabs him in the side, so he kind of gets her. So she gets him in the side, but it's not enough to like take him down, so he grabs her and pushes her on the ground, and then he proceeds to kind of get on top of her, dude, and then you really find out that this dude's like a super creeper. She's like, the best part is like when they scream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what is about to happen here? And then she gets, how does she take him down? Does she get she gets the knife, I think, again, right? She's like reaching for it, and she gets it and hits him one more time. And then somehow she gets him, oh man, I can't remember the exact way the fight goes down, but she gets him somewhere good where he goes down the other way, and she grabs the cleaver and just starts going ham on him. I was losing my mind during this scene. I couldn't believe it, dude. This girl, I don't care. You want to say whatever you want about her acting or whatever. I'm telling you right now, that scene, not everyone could do that.
Right.
It was amazing. Like the way that she did that scene and screamed and just, dude, it looked like this, just like over and over and over.
Right.
And, and I mean, I'm not talking like 4 times. She went at this dude for at least 10.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she just kept going. She was just enraged, and there's blood splatting up in her face, and it was so good, dude. And at the end, she looked kind of mortified, like just like total out of it, right? And she walks outside, and then Joel grabs her, and it was such a beautiful moment, man. I almost got a tear, man.
It's
almost.
the moment
I was so close, dude. I almost
because
never
they
cried
get reunited. They get reunited, and Joe goes, "Oh, baby girl, I'm here."
Calls her baby girl. Called her baby girl. It was so beautiful.
She doesn't have a reaction. She just
they make
accepts
sure
it.
to show you the watch.
Yeah.
In the scene, like it's right there, like the one that his daughter gave him. It's just, it was really good, man. I felt.
I want to go back a few seconds and go back to how intense this scene was when she kills him, because like you said, he's a creeper, but he's an ultimate creeper because he's trying to do all this in a burning building.
Yes. He doesn't care that it's burning down.
He doesn't care that this building is down there about to collapse, because it shows like the beam of this building catching on fire. Everything is surrounding the fire. He's still trying to have his creep moment.
Yeah.
And then, she gets him.
You played both, right? So who's creepier? Is it Game David or TV David?
I don't remember. I'm gonna say TV David. I'm gonna say until I play the game again, I'm gonna say this guy took.
From what I saw of the 1-to-1s, I'm gonna say TV David too.
Yeah. So when he's stabbing him, you hear that he's making these grunts, but he stops grunting after like the 3rd stab. But she continues on.
Dude, I'm telling you, it had to be like 10 stabs at least. I could tell what my face was doing while I was watching. I was just like,
yeah. I just wanted to go back and I was like, I remember watching it. And
I wonder when the interview process, when they were interviewing people to do this show, that they showed them that scene from the game and said, you have to do this.
Right.
We need to see that you can do this. And maybe she was the only one who could. Not everyone could do that scene, man. I'm sorry. I mean, you could do it, but to do it like she did, I don't know.
Right.
That was wild.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, she walks out. She's like out of it, like, and you probably feel her because like, look, I just encountered. She's like,
She
I don't
looked
know if
completely lost, like her
yeah,
mind
she's
was like
like, I don't
gone.
know if Joe's alive.
Yep.
I just encounter a religious cannibal people, and I just had a creep on top of me. Like, imagine going through all that and surviving it. Yeah, she's out of it until she sees Joel, and yeah, he makes it all better. Baby girl, this and that, and yeah. So, uh, the next episode is the last episode, right?
I don't know. Is there 10 or 9? Because I think that was
It
episode 8.
says at if you watch like the whole you wait until like after because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they show the trailer of the next episode.
Okay.
It says season
I
finale.
don't want to see. Yeah, I didn't want to see any of those. So okay, season
Okay, yeah,
finale. Okay,
yeah. It says season finale. So no,
cool.
so
And that's when the other girl, the one who actually plays Ellie, is going to be playing her mom. I think, in that episode.
oh okay, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the girl though
So
who actually voiced Ellie. It's going to be live action her mom in the next episode.
yeah, so I'm not gonna spoil the trailer for you. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, but from what I know from the game and from here, it looks like
I know it's going to be some sort of twist. I know.
no. It looks like they're gonna rush it.
Okay.
They're gonna try to cram all this into one episode.
It better be a long
I think
episode.
yeah, unless this is like a longer episode, but
I
since
hope
this is
so.
the season finale, and if they're gonna stick by the game, it looks like it's gonna be rushed.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Or it looks like they're gonna cram a whole bunch of stuff, and then probably if you haven't played the game, you probably won't notice. But
Okay.
yeah. All right, so let's go into some gaming news. Oh, before we go to gaming news, did you see the new trailer of Mario Brothers?
No, no, I haven't actually.
Yes,
There's a new
it's
one.
great.
All
It's
right,
great.
I'm gonna watch
It's
that.
great. That you can tell.
I can't wait.
I almost want to say like, I'm not sure if they plan on having another Super Mario Brother movie, but and you know what? No, never mind, because it's such a big universe,
Yeah.
the Mario Brother universe. But this next trailer, this new trailer shows a lot more. Like, oh, they're going to add this in there too. Oh, wow.
I mean, dude, I can't imagine how much cool stuff it's gonna be in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we have.
So,
I bet you we haven't even seen like half of what is gonna be.
right.
I know they show a lot in the trailers, but Mario Universe is a really, really big world, and there's a lot of different characters and enemies and heroes, and there's just so much cool stuff that you can do with that universe that it's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, and they have their spin-offs too.
Yeah,
like Luigi has his own spin-off. Yoshi has his spin-off.
You know what it reminds me of? It makes me excited as when I saw like the Wreck-It Ralph trailers. Because you saw all the little video game references and stuff like that. Like that's how excited I am for this one.
Yeah, this new trailer, you'll get even more excited.
Okay.
So yeah. I'll say that for that. Not over the weekend. Yesterday I saw Creed 3. Have you seen it?
No.
No? Have you seen any of the Creed movies?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, we can skip over that.
No. You can tell me about it if you want. It's totally cool. For some reason, drama movies, I don't watch a lot of them.
No, didn't see any of the Rocky movies?
I saw them when I was younger. I really haven't watched them in a long time.
Maybe when you have a chance, read the backstory of how Sylvester Stallone got started with this Rocky movie.
Okay.
And see how messed up he got played from this. This just goes back to like creators and content creators. Make sure you own your stuff because he's the one that got this franchise started, but he had to sell like the rights to it. So, I know you probably haven't paid attention, but Sylvester Stallone, he's saying he's not in this Creed movie. He's in the first 2.
He wanted to be.
The reason why he's not in the third one because the person that has the rights to this, the way the direction that they're going, Sylvester Stallone, like he's like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. He's like, I'm willing to do another movie with Michael B. Jordan, but if this guy's involved, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's a interesting story about how Rocky the series got started and how Sylvester Stallone doesn't even have like the exclusive rights to it. So Yeah. Let's see. We got some movies coming out. We got Shazam coming out either tomorrow or next week.
March 17th, I think.
Okay, so it's next week.
Yeah, I don't have tickets for like day one or anything. I actually haven't even gotten tickets yet.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if I'm not sure if my wife wanted to see it or not. So I gotta.
Yeah, and there's a new trailer for that too.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen enough of the trailers of it.
Yeah,
at this point,
enough,
I don't think I want to see any more trailers for Shazam. I just want to go see the movie at this point.
Right. And I can't think of anything.
I'm not even sure if I want to see another Batman or Flash trailer now. I think I just want to go see it.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, June, hurry up.
You know, I don't know if I want another trailer. I think I've seen enough of, the gist of it that I'm good.
Let's see. Let's go to my notes. I think.
Tell me about this thing you were watching with Capcom. Usually I'm the one who sees all the Capcom stuff.
Capcom got a lot of stuff coming out. So
now this Resident Evil that you're talking about, that's Resident Evil 4?
So let me see what I was saying. Capcom Spotlight. Okay, so they got Resident Evil the remake coming out.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4, right?
Yeah, so just like they did Resident Evil 2 and 3, they come out with Resident Evil 4, which Resident Evil 4 is a classic.
But they're gonna put it on the Switch as well, is what you were saying?
They're not. Oh shoot, I gotta remember. They're
because I thought that's.
I can't remember if they're putting it on the Switch, but it's definitely come out for the next gen.
Okay, because that's why I thought you were so excited. Because I didn't. What systems do you have? I forget. Do you have any next gen systems? Or
I don't have the next gen. I still have my one. I still have my PS4.
So Switch is your Switch and PS4.
My Switch is like my main thing. So here's the cool thing: is that not only is Street Fighter coming out, but the Capcom they got they have a sale going on. We're gonna get to play
Street Fighter together, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah, they got a sale going on right now. And so what's happening is Nintendo, they're not really into trying to keep up with like the next gen consoles. They got like their own lane.
Yeah, but Capcom has a sale going on?
Yeah, they have a sale going on.
Are you going to get Fighting Collection?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to get that, man.
There's a bundle. There's a Capcom, what's it called? Capcom something bundle. So it comes with the Street Fighter bundle. Like Street Fighter all the way to Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Oh yeah, that's
so
the 30th anniversary or something
games.
Like that. Yeah,
it's like 10
I've
games.
had that forever.
And then they also have another fighting collection which has like the Darkstalkers and some other games.
Yeah, that's the fighting collection.
Yeah, so it's 2 bundles in one for like the price of like $30, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that. They also have the Mega Man, all the Mega Man collections on sale. So I'm eventually gonna get Mega Man Legacy 1 and 2, and then Mega Man X Legacy.
Yeah, I only got the X ones. I don't really care about the original Mega Mans as much. They're cool, but I really enjoyed the Mega Man X series to like.
Yeah, definitely
the most. I had so much fun playing those games.
And I'm not sure if you've ever been a fan of Monster Hunter.
So here's the thing. It looks cool. It's just not something that I think I have time to really get into. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a lot of grinding in that game to get the weapons you want.
Exactly. And I just don't have the time for that. But it looks sick, man. I mean, dude, I love swords. And they are the biggest freaking swords I've ever seen in that game. I would love to just wheel around one of those. They look so sick, dude. But
yes.
Go on with Monster Hunter. Are there updates for Monster Hunter?
Yeah, so Monster Hunter has an interesting story. So I remember seeing it back in the day in the Game Pro magazine. This is when magazines were so popular, like tips and tricks.
Props to Monster Hunter. I will never not love Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter brought Capcom from the brink of like nothingness. They were broke, man. Street Fighter 5 was like half funded by Sony. They were. Yeah, they didn't have the money to make that game. And that's why it even came out bare bones, too, to be honest. Street Fighter 5 came out with just online. That's it. There was no story mode or anything. It was just, and it wasn't even that many characters.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But because they have so much money now, that's because of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter made them a ton of money.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Resident Evil came out after that. Resident Evil 7 was like very, very well received.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6 was trash. I haven't played it, but there was no good reviews.
But Street Fighter 5, I mean, now it's a pretty good game. It's got like a lot of cool stuff in it. and modes and things like that. But when it came out, it was like nothing. It was very not well received. I didn't care because I just wanted to play online, just play people. So it didn't bother me as much. But for the casual audience, yeah. And they just didn't have the money to make that type of fulfilled game. But props to Monster Hunter, man. I love Monster Hunter.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. But what I was going at was that back in the day, I remember I used to I had a subscription with Game Pro magazine. I remember I used to see Monster Hunter in the magazine, like an ad for it. I was like, yeah, I want to play that game, but I could never find it. It was never popular in the U.S. That's what I said. It was never popular in the U.S. So it was kind of hard to find.
I wonder how it found its audience.
So
because it's pretty popular in the U.S. now.
Yeah, it's popular in the U.S. So it wasn't until I actually had to play the first one on PSP.
Okay.
So so Monster Hunter came out. It was popular overseas, I guess in Japan, but once they imported it to, I don't want to say imported, but when it started becoming popular in the United States, you can only get it on the PSP. And it was called something else. It was called Monster Hunter like Freedom or Monster Hunter Portable or something like that. And that's why I started playing. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then it was only like popular they only released it on portable. So then it came on to like the 3DS. You can start playing on the 3DS.
And I can't imagine what those games must have looked like.
Yeah, and it was only available. So like overseas, you were able to get it like on the PS2, right? But over in the US, it was only available like on the portable, like the PSP.
And were they different games? Like, was it like Monster Hunter subtitle or something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like Monster Hunter. So it was like Monster Hunter 1 and 2. And then I remember when I played, it was like Monster Hunter Freedom 1 and 2. And then it came to like Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter Generations, Monster Hunter Ultimate, Monster Hunter Try, which is 3. And it was only for like the 3DS. And I think they had like a deal with Nintendo because it was only releasing on Nintendo consoles. So then it made it to like the Wii U or the Wii and the Wii U. And then I remember it was real big when they announced Monster Hunter World. And that's when it was available.
PS4, right?
Yeah, that's when it was available for Xbox One and PS4.
Right.
And that was huge.
Yeah.
Because the graphics were updated. I remember it was like a new system, still the core of it, but it had new aspects of it. And then
you have Monster Hunter. What is it?
I have Monster Hunter World for Xbox One, and now the newest one is called Monster Hunter Rise.
And that's on Switch.
And it was first released on Switch.
Okay.
So the thing is like when Monster Hunter World came out, it was only for the consoles, right? It didn't come out because I don't think the Switch was popular. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, so it didn't come out for the Switch.
Well, I don't. Okay, let's just
a different version.
Let's be careful here. The Switch was hella popular, but its graphic quality wasn't as good. They had to kind of redesign that game so that it could run on the Switch. So that's why it's a whole new game, right? Because Monster Hunter Rise is.
So this is what they did. So they had Monster Hunter World that released on PS4, Xbox, came out for PC later. But then they had a different Monster Hunter game for Switch. Okay. It was called Monster Hunter Ultimate Generations, something like that. So it was like all the games in one, like all like every type of they put like all the games, all the monsters into one game. And in each game you go to like a different town. And in this game, because I bought it, you can visit each town and like kind of every game has like a new monster boss and stuff like that. So they had one for the next gen consoles and they had one for like the Switch. And then Monster Hunter Rise came out and that was only available for
the Switch, right?
The Switch, yeah, which I bought, which is great.
Yeah, because I remember when you bought it, you told me you wanted me to buy it.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I was like, dude, I just don't have the time.
And then now they came out with an expansion. It's called Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
Yeah, I heard that's pretty awesome too.
It's great, and now it's coming out for the next gen consoles.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get it.
So it's coming out for Xbox. It's coming out for Xbox and PS4.
Will it be cross-platform?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's coming out pretty soon. So that's what Capcom is showing.
Okay.
And then it's coming out for PC also. It's actually out for PC right now, but it's not out for PS4 and Xbox yet.
Okay.
And what was I about to say? Oh, so with Resident Evil, it's interesting what they're doing. So now Resident Evil is actually available right now. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 7 are now available for the Switch.
Cool.
But you have to have internet connection to play these games.
Oh, so it's going to be one of those streaming games?
Yeah, it's called, and when you look at it, it says Resident Evil 2 Cloud.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 3 Cloud.
Yeah, and the reason why is because these systems can't really handle that graphic fidelity. Yeah. So the cloud kind of handles some of that for them so that you can actually run.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I look at it, and the game size is like less than a gig.
I would like to see... So have you ever played a cloud game before?
No, I haven't.
I have not. I hope that you get one of these because I want to know how it is. Because I hear it runs okay. I'm curious exactly.
I hope so. Yeah.
Why there's like a negative stigma about it. I would like to, how much is it a whole package then that you have to buy for one price, or are there all of them are listed?
Yeah, all of them are listed. They're different.
Oh, okay. Games. Get one of the cheap ones, man. I want to know.
Yeah. The thing is, I have 2 and 3. I have actually all of them on I got Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation, and I have Resident Evil 3 on Xbox. And I have Resident Evil 7 on what should we call it, on PlayStation. So I might get.
Well, you said Resident Evil 1, right?
No, Resident Evil 1. I don't think Resident Evil 1 has been on Switch already.
Oh,
it's already been available on Switch.
Okay, because I thought they were but they're all available cloud streaming now.
No. So Resident Evil 2 and 3, they're available for cloud.
Oh, the remake.
The remakes, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Because Resident Evil 1, they remade it years ago, I think, and I think it was released on GameCube.
It was. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. And then they did, because
I think that might be the first game that actually introduced the 180. I think that might be the first one that finally put it in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because remember you used to have to turn your whole body to run away.
Was it?
And I think
it wasn't part 2. No, part 2 you could shake them off. Like when they bite you could like push them off.
Yeah, I think when they remade it for the GameCube, the original Resident Evil, they introduced the 180 turn.
Yeah, that's so helpful.
Such a simple mechanic, but it changes the game like a lot.
Also, yeah, so that's what was going on for Resident Evil. I was gonna say, I don't know if it's the same concept, but I played at one point I had Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did a deal like, oh, just for $1 you get Xbox Ultimate Live Game Pass. I was like, okay, let me get this. And the game that's cloud-based, right?
I think you can download the games. But maybe some of them you have to play through the cloud. I'm not positive. I never got Game Pass. Everyone tells me I should too.
I think it was there's our Xbox has something where it's cloud based and it ran smooth, but Xbox is powerful than Switch processor wise, so it might be different for Switch. I'll let you know. I'll try it out.
Okay.
So back to Capcom. Oh, and then what they're doing for the latest game, Resident Evil 8 Village, is now they're having it for VR for PS4.
Okay.
I haven't played VR before. I want to.
I'm not playing VR Resident Evil. No way, dude.
The gameplay looks so sick.
No way.
The way you have to reload, and I was looking at it because I think I skimmed through it, right? And there's this part because I just finished Resident Evil 8.
I can play Resident Evil 4 VR because I know that Resident Evil 4 is a more action-based game. There's not as much horror stuff. But in Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, there is a lot of
first person
creepy, like, jump moments. Like, even just playing... I haven't finished it yet. And it's not that I'm scared to. I just haven't had the time. But Resident Evil 7...
it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be
Resident
scared.
Resident Evil 7 was, like... There were some dark moments in that game. And then all of a sudden, like, you would see something just come at you out of nowhere. There's no way in hell I'm playing those games in VR.
And the crazy thing about Resident Evil 7, you haven't finished it. But
I like being scared.
there's not that
Looking
many
at a
enemies in
screen,
there.
but I don't like being scared when it looks like the thing just literally in my face. There's no way.
Resident Evil 7, there's not that many enemies in there.
There's enough.
No, like, because like in the Resident Evil games, you have the dog, you have the crows, you have the spiders, you have the hunters. In Resident Evil 7, you have the family, and then you have like two monsters in there throughout the whole game.
There are rooms you walk in that are almost completely dark unless you have your flashlight, and then there's like stuff on the walls and things. You
don't know what's gonna get
like,
you.
You don't know what's
gonna. Yeah, it's great. So
it's great.
There's also this new game they introduced for Capcom. So they're coming out with a Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I never played any of the Battle Networks.
I played like the first one. It's kind of cool, but it's not my type of game. So
of course they got Street Fighter 6 coming out. They have this one game that I think me and you should probably like try and stream. It's called Exo Primal.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I'm getting that game.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
we actually I've already played the beta. I actually got into the closed beta. Me and Colin played that. So if you want to see some like stuff on there, I have it on my YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say like the beta, I think is about to open back up.
Oh, there's another one? Oh,
there's another beta coming out.
Dude, it's hella fun, man. I don't know if you ever played a game called Earth Defense Force 5.
No, I haven't.
It's basically just the same concept, except it's like with like ants and spiders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is with like hordes of dinosaurs, which was super cool. As soon as I saw it, I was jazzed up. I hope just they have like cheesy dialogue and stuff like that. I hope they don't take it too seriously. But I do hope that they have like a good story mode. Because that was another really fun part of EDF is that it has like a big story, but the actual like dialogue is super duper cheesy. Like think like Starship Troopers. Cheesy.
Oh yeah,
and right, that type of awesomeness. So I hope they do this with the Exo Prime.
Yeah, so I think the beta is about to open back up next week. They're gonna have another beta.
Okay.
I want to get it. It looks fun because it reminds me of this game I played called Warframe.
Okay.
It reminds me of Warframe. It reminds me a little bit like Destiny, and it reminds me of another game I forget what it's called. That was supposed to be a big release, but it did horrible. The server, the game wasn't ready, wasn't polished. But yeah, I want to get Exo Primal. I love dinosaurs, and you're in these mechs, so cool combination. Was that it for Capcom? Resident Evil 4 is coming out, and then Monster Hunter Rise. There's another game called Ghost Trick Phantom that didn't catch my interest, but I think that's it for Capcom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it later. I know Maximilian dude, guy who I watch a lot. I really enjoy his
Oh,
content.
speaking of Maximilian, I know you didn't say it, but Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Yeah, I'm okay. First of all,
no, you just ruined it for me.
No,
you don't sound excited like I am.
I'm excited for you.
Wait, hold on. Are you trying to say just leave it alone?
No, I'm not going to say that at all.
Okay,
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the Budokai 4 people. You deserve it. You've been waiting, I think, over 10 years. So yes, I'm happy for you. But Tenkaichi was never my type of game. I will say this though.
Really?
Yeah, I like Budokai, but not Tenkaichi. Not the way that it moved. Because it's like a lot of air movement and stuff like that, right? Budokai wasn't like that. Budokai had you go up and down, a little bit of air movement, but it wasn't like nutty like Tenkaichi was. Tenkaichi reminds me.
Budokai was good. Budokai was good.
Yeah,
the first
reminds
game
me of like Jump Force, and I just those games are just so linear.
I never played Jump Force, but I know the gameplay.
The same thing. They're linear and boring, but I get why you're excited. There's tons of characters and stuff like that, but let me tell you right now, there's no way there's going to be as many characters to start as there was in the other Tenkaichi. So cool your jets a little bit on that one. There's no way it's going to take way too long to make all those characters. Tons of those characters are going to be DLC. Tons of them.
Well, so I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
But let's go back.
But I'm happy for you. I was just like, I really wanted them to announce rollback like next week, and I wanted to announce Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, which they didn't do either.
Oh, there's a confirmed that part 2 is coming out?
No, There isn't, but
Oh,
at some point they're gonna do it. Dragon Ball Fighters made way too much money for it
yeah.
not to come out. But rollback is actually in the spring at least, so that'll be nice. I'll start playing online a lot more. But I'm happy
Let's
for you.
let's go back.
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
I remember when Budokai came out, right? My cousin, he's the one that got me into Dragon Ball. And so I remember he found this shop downtown San Jose where they were able to mod his PlayStation 1. And so he was able to play these Dragon Ball games. Now I don't know when the first time you ever played a Dragon Ball game, but he was able to play this game called Dragon Ball Final Bout.
That
Dragon
game is
Ball.
so bad, it's good. I love
Yeah,
that game.
right?
Dude, you could do the most craziest nonsense. If you knock someone on the ground, they were dead because you could just keep doing the same combo to them while they were on the ground. It was just, but it was so cool because of the beam clashes. Like, yeah. I love the beam clashes, and Tenkaichi has those too, right? Like crazy beam clashes where you break all your controllers.
I think Budokai has it too. And Budokai 3, I think.
Yeah, I think they did.
Budokai 3.
And they had that rock paper scissors in Budokai 3, which was really cool too.
Yeah, and so then there was Final Bout. There was Ultimate 22, and then there was another one called Dragon Ball Z Legends, I think. So I remember he had those. I was so jealous of him because I wish I could get my PlayStation modded. But
dude,
then they
I
came
wanted
out with
GT so bad. I played that one. I rented it once from some place, and then it was never there again because no one ever returned the copy because it's rare. So but I remember playing that game and just loving it. And I didn't even know who half the characters were. I just knew there was Dragon Ball, and you could do beam clashes, and I was all about it.
Yeah. So then I remember when Budokai came out.
And that was a polished game, that actually was functioned
great.
really well.
The story, and then it was so cool because it had like 3. Because the thing that sucked about it is that they only went up to Cell Saga, I believe.
Yeah.
But they had a cool story, and they had like the own little twist at the end to where Vegeta was able to go Super Saiyan during the Saiyan Saga. There was another one where I think Cell. What happened with Cell? Cell absorbed Krillin, I think.
What?
I forget. Cell did something. There's a story. There's a part where Cell absorbed somebody, and he looked funny. And then Budokai 2 was kind of trash. I didn't like the story mode. And the Budokai 3 was cool.
I like the combat in all of them. So that didn't bother me. But they improved the combat every time. Little by little. The story.
I remember in Budokai,
cool, but I didn't really care about the story. I just wanted.
I remember in Budokai, you had to do a combo before you could do like a beam blast, and then they made it to where you could just do the beam blast like straight out. So that was cool.
Let me ask you this, as a person who cares about the story and stuff like that. And again, I have not read the mangas. I don't read them. I'm an American. I want everything animated for me. All right. I don't want to have to read. Shit.
Spoken like a true American.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Right.
So so terrible. So anyway, I don't read the mangas, but I don't know if you do. But do you think that they're gonna go? I know about it, so you can't avoid it. But I don't know the end or anything like that, or all the transformations. But you think they're gonna go into the Moro arc? Because they got to tell more story. They'll definitely go into Super.
Well, I think it's confirmed. I think they will. I think it's confirmed that they're the second season of Super is coming out. And
no, I mean in the new game Tenkaichi 4 with the story mode.
Oh, it'll probably
do you think
DLC.
that they'll definitely go into Super, obviously, but will they go all the way into the Moro arc, you think?
Probably DLC.
Okay.
So they'll probably do like what they're doing with what's it called? What's the latest game out right now for Dragon Ball that they keep coming out with DLC?
Xenoverse.
Xenoverse 2. That game has so many DLCs. It's crazy. Yeah. I love that game though. I love that game. That's how that game got me all my subscribers, my 2,000 subscribers, because I made like a how to unlock every character and this and that. That game really? got. I know I don't have that has so many DLC. They just came out with another one, where they're releasing Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
you finally saw that movie, right?
No, I haven't. I saw like the ending of it,
dude. I think it's out. I think you can like.
Yeah, I know.
Right now.
So
you did see the end of it?
Yeah, I saw the how
That
Piccolo
sucks
turns
that it
Orange
was. That
Piccolo.
sucks that it was spoiled for you.
Yeah. But what was I say? Oh yeah, so that's the new Dragon Ball game coming out. I'm excited for that. I hope they keep
And
it
I'm
to its
excited for
true.
you.
I'll have the same excitement for you when they announce fighters.
Thank you.
Because yeah. So was there something else I wanted to talk about?
Did you see Ant-Man yet?
No, I haven't seen Ant-Man.
Okay.
You want to talk about it? You won't
No.
spoil it for me.
Save it for another time.
I saw the post credits.
Okay.
Okay, I'll ask you then. Who dies in Ant-Man?
I don't think anybody dies in Ant-Man.
You don't think?
No, I don't.
You saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Who dies?
Well, I mean, MODOK dies.
Oh, okay. I knew that.
Yeah, but
and is MODOK really the Wasp or no? Not the Wasp.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know what
Yellow
you're talking
Jack?
about. Yeah, it's Yellow Jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's funny.
You know who I thought MODOK was? I thought MODOK was the guy in Winter Soldier that was from first Captain America, First Avenger, the Red Skull's like right hand man.
Oh no, I don't think so. No, I
So
don't think it's supposed to be Zola.
Yeah, so I remember in the Winter Soldier when Captain America and Black Widow was at this abandoned Hydra base and he had his face there. I was like, oh, is that supposed to be MODOK? Is that their version of MODOK? But no, MODOK's in here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Ant-Man's still alive, Wasp still alive. What's her name? Stature,
yeah.
Stature, she's alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wasp, Hank, and the wife are still alive.
Yeah. Okay. The only thing is basically there's just like repercussions from what happened.
Like what? Killing Kang?
I don't think he's dead.
That Kang is not dead?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
You just see him kind of disappear. But we saw Yellow Jacket disappear. He's alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is like that was supposed to be the Kang, the Conqueror Kang, the Kang of all Kangs that they were so scared of that they trapped him in the quantum realm.
Oh, so that's what happened. Oh, so tell me, what did Ant-Man have to get?
He had to get something to get him out of the quantum realm, just like I thought.
Oh, okay.
Just like I thought. He was trapped there. I knew it. I knew he was trapped there. But again, like it's almost as if like again, there's repercussions that are going to happen now, but it basically it ends the same way it started. You know, he's just back in real life and everyone's fine. But then, you know, something bad's coming now.
So what did he have to get?
So if you really want to know, spoilers, everybody. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, Janet Van Dyne, you know, the one who was trapped in the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
She's trapped and stumbles upon him also trapped. His ship like crashes or something, and she finds him, and he's like almost dead. And she heals him back up, and he keeps saying that if we get my ship going, we can leave this place. I can take you back to your daughter, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. I know how to manipulate time. Basically, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally, after a while, they fail a few times, but finally they actually get the ship going, right? And as they're about to leave, when she puts the power source into the ship, she sees like all his memories and all the messed up stuff that he's done, you know? And she's basically like, I can't allow you to leave.
Yeah.
So she takes the power source and hits it with like a bunch of those, you know, those Pimtech things and makes it like huge. So he can't use it. So Ant-Man has to go down to shrink himself to size because he doesn't have the, you know, Kang doesn't have the technology to do this, to get what he needs. Ant-Man is the one who can shrink down to size and get through this trial to get what he needs to power his ship.
Oh,
That's basically what it is.
Oh.
So that's why he needs him. I guess he could have used anybody who could shrink, but there's like some other messed up stuff you got to go through in there, which is why there's a bunch of Ant-Men down there and everything too. That's where all the Ant-Men come down from. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, so I know at the post credit, the other, I guess there's like other main kings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like a council of kings.
Yeah, council of kings that are like, there's like 3 ones. The one that's like Egyptian, and there's like 2 other ones. And I remember they're this big old council. They're like, this is what we're gonna do now. I was like, oh, okay, so this is the King Dynasty.
Yeah, the only one I know of is Ramnatut. That's the one. That's the Egyptian one. But the other ones, I don't know who they are.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. That's all I have.
Okay. Well, this is a pretty long one, to be honest.
Yeah, we didn't do last week, so, and then there's a lot of things announced. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Capcom, I'm definitely going to download. The sale goes into the 26th, I think. So I think I'm gonna buy like a whole bunch of games. I gotta get me a new memory card too. But yeah, I'm gonna buy me a whole bunch of games next week, and then yeah, I think that's all I have.
I'll have fun playing your games.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, have you played Hogwarts Legacy yet?
No.
Dude, that game. Are you a Harry Potter fan at all?
I'm not.
Oh, then don't worry about it. I mean, it's actually, even if you aren't, it's actually still a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were a Harry Potter fan, it's like you'd lose your shit.
Yeah, my cousin like got pre-order for it back in Christmas time.
Yeah,
he was like raging about it. He's like, yeah, this game is gonna be so sick. I was like, I'm happy. Like, how you doing? I'm happy for you.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, it was really impressive. The combat is pretty good. I was really surprised how well that everything controls. I thought that combat would be like the last thing they would think about. You know, that might be the worst part of it. Combat is hella fun. You can do like combos and stuff with your spells. I was like, shit, okay. It's kind of feels like Devil May Cry a bit.
When I heard about it, because I didn't see too much gameplay and the stuff I saw, I thought it was gonna be like a online only thing.
You know, I think initially they might have thought about it was gonna be. Which, by the way, I hope there's a patch for that, because I would love to go on missions with other people and do these.
Yeah, because I thought the same thing.
Fun.
I thought it was gonna be like an Elder Scrolls Online. I thought that's what it was gonna be.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so far it's just a single player story with a lot of extra side missions. Think about like Breath of the Wild with Harry Potter.
Okay, cool. So they announced that. I forgot what it's called though. But it's supposed to be like the Breath of the Wild Part 2, but it's called something else.
Oh yeah, I forget what it's called now.
Oh yeah, well that's all I have, man. If that's all you have,
yeah.
We are going to sign off, ladies and gentlemen. So as always, if you guys enjoy us, make sure you guys follow us. Tell your friends about us. We need more subscribers. We want to reach more audience and tell people about what's news out there, what to expect, and everything. And as always, you have anything, give us a holler, give us a comment, give us a question. Subscribe, of course, like our videos. We're on Spotify, we are on YouTube.
Yeah, comments and thumbs up really help people.
Yeah, thumbs ups. Give us in the algorithm, please. But guys, once again, thank you for tuning in. I am Ron Deasy. We got my co-host here,
Mr. Awesome.
Yes, and we'll see you guys next time, where we will go over the finale of The Last of Us and give our opinion about it. And I don't think Bad Batch will be ending by then, but Last of Us will be the big one. So, ladies and gentlemen, see you guys next time. We are 2 nerds are better than 1. See you guys next time.
Later, guys.